Second autopsy was done on Trey Reed's body, and we now know that this was not a suicide. Here's what we know. They found evidence of blunt force trauma to the back of his head. They also did not find any evidence that shows that he was hanging from a tree for hours. What they found through their autopsy was that he was possibly manually strangled and then placed in the tree after his death. We also now know that he had an altercation the day before with 4 white students, and the reason why is because he was coming to the defense of his younger sister, who was under attack by these guys for comments she made online about Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, the authorities are saying that they have identified these 4 students, and we cannot leave this alone until we see the end of it. This is like literally all hands on deck because we know how corrupt all of this already is based on how the police treated this from the start. So we need people speaking about this. If you're speaking about it, tell your friends to repost. If you see a post about this, repost it.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a white savior. You see, a lot of white liberals are like this for some reason. They hate themselves, and they think that hating white people or pretending to hate white people somehow makes them more virtuous than what they really are. They'll often spread lies about white people, spread these fake stories in exchange for brownie points, in exchange for what they believe may be some sort of acceptance from minority groups. But you see, these type of white people are the most dangerous white people of all. Because, you see, it's not the country hillbillies that you got to worry about, right? The media always tries to portray it as if it's the country hillbilly white people. They're all racist. You got to worry about them. Those are not the people you got to worry about. Most of those people will welcome you in with loving arms and make you a home-cooked meal. The real white people you got to worry about is these white liberal, white savior types. Because they will knowingly spread fake information or false information to try to get a reaction out of minority groups. And once that reaction comes, these people will disappear into the shadows. Now, what he just spread, all of that information about the 4 white guys that they're looking for, all of that is fake. There's not an ounce of truth to anything he said. But he'll put that info out there, and let's just say some black people see the video, they think that 4 white guys killed Trey Reed, and they decide to retaliate. Are you ever going to hear about the white guy that instigated it on Instagram? No. You're going to hear about the people who retaliated, though. I mean, just look at BLM. Look at the BLM movement. Minority groups receive the most hate or ridicule when it comes to the BLM movement, right? When it comes to BLM burning down cities and burning down business and doing all of this disgusting stuff, people usually aim that criticism at black people. And rightfully so. But at the same time, let's not forget that most of the BLM riots and stuff, they were started by white people. White people were at the center of a lot of that chaos. But were white people blamed? Were the white liberals that caused a lot of that chaos, that helped spread lies about, oh, law enforcement is after all black people? Are the white liberals really blamed for BLM and the Summer of Love? Or are black people blamed for all of that destruction? Now, black people caused a lot of destruction during BLM for sure, but white people were right there as well, instigating it all the way. And that's what we're witnessing right here, right now, when it comes to the Trey Reed story. You see, if you've been following my channel, you know that I hopped on this story early on. I got ahead of the lies that these people are spreading. because they want people to believe that racist white people killed Trey Reed, when in reality, Trey Reed ended himself. The autopsy shows that. There's other evidence that shows that, including video evidence. But the race grifter Colin Kaepernick came in to fund a second autopsy. Because these people are so racist, they believe that a second autopsy will prove that white people killed Trey Reed, even though there's video evidence that Trey Reed did this to himself. And other evidence as well. Well, all over the internet for the past week or so, people have been reporting that the second autopsy is out. And it shows that Trey Reed had injuries to the back of his head and all of this other stuff. The only problem is the second autopsy has not come out. In fact, the family of Trey Reed, they're getting sick and tired of all of the rumors and lies that people are spreading. So Trey Reed's family has had to come out themselves and say, hey, all of this info is fake. There's no second autopsy. I mean, they're doing a second autopsy, but they haven't gotten the results yet. Yet people are still spreading this story. From day one, they spread the story claiming that white people killed Trey Reed. And then immediately they started blaming Charlie Kirk. They said it must be in retaliation to Charlie Kirk getting killed. Because in their warped out racist brains, they think that white people saw Charlie get killed and immediately were like, you know what, we got to go hang a black teenager. We got to go to college and hang a black person for this. That's how ridiculous these people are. But you see, they live in a constant state of paranoia because white liberals are constantly feeding them these fake stories about evil white people doing things to them when none of this stuff is true. Okay? So very early on, they decided that they were going to blame Charlie Kirk, that this must be a random retaliation to what happened to Charlie Kirk. Now, like I said, evidence came out that showed Trey Reed did this to himself. The autopsy came out and showed Trey Reed did this to himself. Trey Reed's own family has acknowledged that in the days leading up to him being found dead, that he was considering ending it all. Let's just put it like that. Trey Reed was already having those thoughts in his head about ending it, and his family has confirmed that. But they're still kind of sitting back and allowing white people to be blamed anyway, because of course they are. We know these people love to play victim. But as time went on, the Trey Reed story kind of disappeared a little bit, and now they're bringing it back to the forefront. Like I said, they're claiming that the second autopsy results came in and all of that is a lie. And now they've created a news story about four white guys. Four white guys were arguing with Trey Reed. They're mad that he didn't like Charlie Kirk. The four white guys, right? The only problem is those four white guys don't exist. This entire story, like I said, is fabricated. The second autopsy has not come out. There's no reports of white people being involved in Trey Reed's death at all. There's no reports of him arguing with four white people. All of that stuff is totally made up. And now they got to take their made up story even further and blame it on Charlie. And man, Charlie Kirk can really not catch a break, right? Any and everything is being blamed on Charlie Kirk these days. And even the people who are on Charlie Kirk's side, they're spreading fake, bogus lies about his assassination, causing his friends, his organization, and his family to be attacked. So damn, this should have been a moment where we could come together, but instead, you got people making up fake stories that, oh, Charlie inspired four white guys to kill Trey Reed, and then you got other people creating stories about Charlie's assassination. His wife must have did it. It was his best friend. It was clearly TPUSA. It's so disgusting to watch all of this play out and to know that it's coming from all angles, even people that we shouldn't have to worry about lies and stupid information coming from, yet it is. That's where we're at. We should be honoring Charlie's legacy, honoring his life. It's now been officially a month since he was killed. Yet here we are. People are blaming Charlie's friends and family for his assassination. And they're also blaming Charlie for random black people who decided to end their own lives across the country and stuff. It's so bizarre. But it's not just coming from one person. We're seeing the Carmelo Anthony supporters. They're coming out of the woodwork with their own videos blaming white people for Trey Reed's death, blaming Charlie Kirk. In fact, I have a clip that I want to play for you guys really quickly. Before I play that clip, though, if you're here, if you enjoy the channel, if you appreciate someone willing to call this stuff out, because as I look around, there's not many people willing to call this stuff out anymore. If you appreciate it, let me know by hitting the like button, dropping a comment, sharing the video, subscribing if you haven't already, and if you're feeling generous and want to donate to the channel, you could always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated. With that being said, though, let's roll this clip and then I'll be right back with more.
Now, this has been rumored. Again, this is rumored, alleged. We don't know for sure. But there's a massive rumor going around that Trey Reed was unalived by 4 white boys who were Charlie Kirk fans. And Trey Reed was allegedly defending a girl who has something to say about Charlie Kirk to them 4 white boys. Again, we don't know for that to be true, and that's the rumor that's been flying around all day. All day. I ain't see the mom confirmed it, the family confirmed it, or anything like that. But I tell you what, y'all better hope that's not true. Because if that's the case, that's the second time since Charlie Kirk's passing that people are getting unalived by his name. I saw one cat that was on live, sat here and unalive, I think 2 girls, and right before he unalived one of them, he said on camera something along the lines of, remember the last thing you remember is you disrespecting Charlie Kirk or something like that. I don't know, something weird like that. I see it on my FYP. But yeah, we're seeing a multitude of people get unalived behind that deceased podcaster's name. And it's weird. And in this case with Trey Reed, I really hope that's not the case, because if it is, that's insane. That a black man would get strange fruited behind the name of Charlie Kirk. That's crazy.
So we're kind of like at this weird point now where if someone does something bad and it just so turns out that they may have seen a Charlie Kirk clip in the past, maybe this person was scrolling through social media and saw a Charlie Kirk video, and then they happened to years later hurt someone. It's all blamed on Charlie, right? If anyone who has ever seen a Charlie Kirk clip happens to do something bad or commit a crime, it's obviously because they were inspired to do so by Charlie. Charlie never encouraged violence. In fact, he encouraged the exact opposite. To talk to the people that you disagree with. He never wanted or preached or promoted anyone hurting anyone over disagreements or over anything else. But now we're at this odd point where if someone does something bad, and maybe they liked a post that Charlie Kirk posted, maybe they watched one of his videos, oh, it all has to be because of Charlie. Now, what if we viewed every situation that way? What if we looked at all of the murders committed by black people and we said, you know what? There's one thing all of these murderers have in common. Or 2 things. They're black and they all watched Madea. What if from here on out, in the way that they're doing Charlie Kirk, what if every crime committed by a black person, we say, hey, it must be Tyler Perry's fault. Oh, Irina Zarutska? That black guy sliced a woman's neck on the train? It must be because of Madea. We could look at every crime committed by a black person and say, hey, well, I saw they watched Madea's Halloween. I saw that they watched Madea Goes to Jail. That's basically where we're at. Using the same logic, if we're going to blame Charlie Kirk for everything that a white person does or doesn't do, because they're making up half of these stories, then therefore we can blame Tyler Perry Medea for everything black people do, right? Or we can blame NBA Youngboy or insert rapper name here, right? I mean, if you really think about it, let's do that. From now on, I'm going to make a TikTok, and every video I'm going to go over crimes committed by black people, and boy, oh boy, there's a bunch of them. And in every video, I'll somehow tie it to Tyler Perry and Medea, because every black person watches Tyler Perry and Medea, don't they? But yeah, that's basically the same thing that is happening here. And I mean, why? I don't know. I really can't answer that question. I'm someone that has interests and I have hobbies. I always have something to do to entertain myself. You know, I can't fathom sitting down and saying, hey, let me create a fake hate crime in my mind and talk about it on social media. Yet that's what so many people do in today's day and age. They'll sit down, they'll fabricate a whole entire fake hate crime. Like the white guy that you saw at the beginning of this video. Just out of nowhere. Just pulled out random stuff out of nowhere. Oh, well, it's 4 white guys they're looking for. And just record that. Use your face and everything and your own identity. Record it and put it on TikTok for the world to see. Even though you know you're lying and you came up with this fake story in your living room because you didn't have anything better to do with your life. And that's why social media has become so harmful. It's helpful, but harmful at the same time as well. And I'm starting to realize that everyone doesn't need a platform, because a lot of people are idiots and a lot of people are evil. And yeah, if you're making up fake hate crimes that could cause real life problems, you're evil. And if you're blaming the fake hate crimes that you made up on a dead man like Charlie Kirk or anyone else, you're evil. You're a complete piece of trash. But, you know, I called this out weeks ago. You can go watch my video. I called it out weeks ago that they were going to blame this on Charlie. They blamed it on him a little bit then. Now they're doubling down, creating new fake facts. And I don't know how long they're going to go on with this, but this Trey Reed hoax has been dragged out for over a month. And now you got a lot of black people all over America who they believe 100% that 4 Charlie Kirk fans went to Trey Reed's college and killed him because they're mad about Charlie. And these people believe it, and you cannot tell them otherwise. Even though Trey Reed's family has come out and said, hey, none of this is true. They don't care. Because they're that racist that they're going to ride with this story regardless. And who can you thank? You can thank white saviors like the guy that you saw at the beginning of this video. But with that being said, I want to hear from you all down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.